Alright, guys, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run trailer just came out today, and a lot of exciting stuff was shown in it. A lot of exciting news was shown in it. So, we're about to just go through the trailer, break it all down, break all the news down.
Yeah, we're gonna have a breakdown for the stage 2 and 3 trailer. Let's go. So, anyways, it starts off with like Gyro, a recap of stage 1 of him winning the race from what we saw, and he does a pretty good job at winning. But we see Gyro getting upset at the judges for you'll see why, and he messes with their champagne.
So, here we get a little teaser, no spoilers, but we see, for people who've read the manga, we get a little teaser of kind of the reason that Gyro is here participating in the Steel Ball Run race with this newspaper.
Yeah, we can clearly see what's in Gyro's bag. So first off, we can see that he's from the Kingdom of Naples. And then also, he has a newspaper. And I think it says something in Italian along the lines of death for the young. So this is essentially background information for Gyro Sapelli and what he's doing for the race. And then we got Johnny wondering who he is, where does Gyro come from, and basically the secrets that he has. We also see hints of the future battle for, Mrs. Robinson or Oye Como Va just coming up. We'll see more of them later on.
So now we're seeing actual stuff in stage 2 of the race.
And I guess Steven Steele is surprised that, hey, there's murders going along for his race, and that's not good. You can't have that for your marketing. That's bad for business, murders. And we're entering the 750 long race. And so I guess now we're gonna have Mountain Tim come along, officially deputized, to look into this mystery murders that's been going on, because he's a top contender. And also, as we'll later find out if you watch the trailer, that he's a stand user. And we can also see that he's using his stand abilities, which is clearly seen on screen in the trailer.
And fun little fact, this is, if you didn't know already, this is a completely different universe than parts 1 through 6 of JoJo. And this is actually the alternate universe version of Speedwagon.
Allegedly, he's the alternate version.
Allegedly. You'll see he doesn't really share that much in common, but allegedly he is.
Yeah, he's using his stand abilities. He's from Wyoming. He's out west, but now we see Gyro and Johnny getting attacked by mysterious abilities, which later we will probably assume it's a stand ability that he's getting attacked. But we actually see the enemy stand in the trailer itself.
So this is
later on.
This is the very first little stand fight that Gyro and Johnny actually get into.
That's very Metallica-like. And we see multiple, enemy stand users kind of people. So first one we see, this is Mrs. Robinson, and then we see, the Boom of the Tomb troop. And then we see Oye Como Va. And then we see, alternate universe Stroheim. And you can tell it's Stroheim due to the blonde hair and the cyborg attachments to his body. And basically these people have abilities that are beyond human understanding, as the trailer suggests.
So this is the first kind of handful of actual antagonists in the series that Johnny and Gyro kind of face off against. On the bottom is the Tomb of the Boom family, Oyo Komova in the middle, Mrs. Robinson, who's actually a man, on the right, and then the alternate universe version of Stroheim. And it actually looks almost exactly like Stroheim in this, unlike with Speedwagon and Mountain Tim.
Which is kind of weird. He's got his tongue sticking out the bottom guy. But we get to see our first hints about the Devil's Palms. And Mountain Tim is working alongside Johnny and Gyro. So that's a good sign. They trust. And the visual key that drops has Mountain Tim along. So we're going to see Mountain Tim get some spotlight. So there's going to be respect on his name now.
Yeah, so this is all covering the Devil's Palm, which is, it's one of the most important moments in the series, one of the most important landmarks in the series. You'll see when the anime actually releases, but this is, kind of the area where, stuff gets real, basically, and kind of changes Johnny and Gyro's whole journey.
And stuff even gets more real when we get the reveal of the President of the United States. We're not going to say his name because they just say Mr. President, but this is the President. I did not expect seeing him here. I was very excited the first time I saw him because finally He's like animated. We could see him. And it's funny, he kind of looks like Donald Trump. And this this guy was written before Donald Trump became president. So that's helpful.
Right. This Mr. President, as you can obviously see, he's a, kind of a stubby, chunky man. Kind of the voice actor, his voice, I was not expecting him to have that kind of voice, but it'll work better for him later on in the series. Manga readers know what I'm talking about.
Even warpers know what you're talking about. But you can see him opening up a suitcase, and if you look at the suitcase, the basically you see little stars along like a path. And if you look at Steven Steele's map, you will see essentially the same kind of outline. If you literally overlook the two, you'll say, hey, the Steel Ball Run race, sponsored by the president, is matching up with what the president has in his suitcase. And the thing about it is the president, he also knows about the devil's palms. So it's almost like at each mark, there's a devil's, and the president, for some reason, wants racers to go through devil's palms and essentially end up at the final stage, going through all the devil's. No major spoilers, but this is where the plot thickens.
Right, this is our first little hint that this whole Steel Ball Run race is, kind of just a bit of a facade on the outside, and it has there's some deeper interest at work here.
Deeper mode. But even like Steven Steele, the guy running it is like nervous of like the president operating in the shadows.
Right. See, a little hint, powerful force. He will definitely be a powerful force going forward.
But yeah, we just see some stand battles, explosions. So this will be relevant later to the story. And we see Johnny using the spin. So lesson 1 was for him to get on the horse, and now we're seeing lesson 2, and Johnny is basically falling off the horse.
Yeah, so if you can tell already by watching the first episode, obviously Johnny is kind of, he's enraptured by the spin and by Gyro, and kind of just follows him around. And obviously Gyro taught him the first lesson in stage 1, and now he's continuing to teach him the second lesson in stage 2 about the spin, which, as you can see, involved, making the cork spin.
So we basically see Johnny utilizing the spin, and he's very surprised by it. Each time we see him using the spin, he's very startled by it. And we hear Mountain Tim talking about stands, and Mountain Tim's like a stand user. And we see that Johnny is essentially generating some kind of ripple-like substance from his fingers. And we literally see his fingernails literally spinning. So Johnny is basically, if you couldn't tell, he's awakening something deeper.
Right, so they kind of just let it out all in the open in the second trailer. Mountain Tim was like, yeah, I've got a stand. So, I mean, we already talked about it in the beginning, but yes, there are stands in this series. And we can see right here, we see he's in the desert. And, after a certain, event in a certain place, combined with his spin technique that he learns from Gyro, Johnny does start to awaken something that's, seemingly almost like a stand ability. We see a little bit later he's actually spinning his fingernails, which, we don't actually ever get any confirmation. I'm going to assume this doesn't hurt because he's not like screaming out in pain or anything, but it is definitely weird to actually see it animated instead of just on a page.
Oh yeah, and if we saw what Gyro, when he basically took Johnny's hands and kind of spun it and put him on the post, his fingers look the same here. So that's what we noticed. And guys, with great honor, I'm pleased to say JoJo Fridays are finally back. Like, it has been many, many, many years, okay? Like, since 2018, okay? We have not had a JoJo Friday since like 2018. It's been a really long time. 8 years. 8 years. So we're going to essentially get 11 episodes every Friday starting September 25th. And honestly, that's not too far away. So that's pretty good.
Guys, in, essentially, a few months, JoJo's going to be back, and it's going to be back for almost 3 months in total. That's going to be covering the second and third stage of the race. So we're going to see a lot of stuff in this next part of JoJo that they're putting out. We're going to see a lot of very cool stuff, and we're very excited. We cannot wait for it.
We literally bullied Netflix into bringing JoJo Fridays back. We think about it. We first off, we made fun of them for for Stone Ocean, for dropping the ball there. Then because they dropped only one episode for Steel Ball Run, we just started harassing them. We started harassing them for basically a while. And then finally they said, like, oh, it was our plan from the beginning. No, we won. We JoJo fans won.
And guys, this it really shows you the true power that the people hold. Obviously, part six as a whole was good, well animated, all that stuff, but the release schedule was terrible and it ruined the hype for part six. Like part six was already like the most hated part in all of JoJo, and they made it even more hated by putting out in batches. And then of course, they only put out the single special episode. And of course, we all know what happened after that. Us JoJo fans took even more of a rise, a stand against them. And now they're finally giving us JoJo Fridays back. So I think this just shows you the fans have the power.
Oh yes, this is great news, everybody. But on that note, it is time for you all to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe. We love our subscribers. We love each and every one of our subscribers. And yeah,
Guys, we can't wait as soon as that first episode drops, and for the entirety of those 11 episodes, those, almost 3 months of JoJo, we will be covering it. So we hope you'll be there with us.
yeah. And on that note, peace.
Peace.